Well, hello strange people, and welcome back to the channel. Back out on the river today. It's been an absolute nightmare to get out onto it. All the car parks on the main slipway, which I normally come into, are full, so I've had to go a little bit further downriver than normal and portage. I'm the laziest bloke in the world. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare, but got in. The road I normally take to get here was closed. Been a nightmare, but I'm out in the river now and I'm going to enjoy it. You may hear the sound of an engine. Billy Bob Bonehead has come up from the city with his penis extending jet ski and has decided that the speed limits on the river aren't for him. So not much I can do about it without a rifle. So we may have a bit of engine noise. Anyway, I'll catch you in a mo. Well, one thing's become patently obvious to me. I am not going to get to where I wanted to be tonight. Those hold-ups I had really caused me to miss the tide. And I've literally got about a paddle's depth of water here, and the tide is going out fast, and I want to be on the beaches over there, and they've got 100 yards of mud in front of them by the time I get there, which is still 25-30 minutes away. Why do kids have to be so noisy? A couple of paddle boarders. Anyway, by the time I get there, there'll just be a mud bank in front of me and I won't be able to get up, and then I will be stuck. So, as much as I hate to do it, I'm going to have to call it today and come back tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Well, hello again, and welcome back to day 2. We are currently 2 days after the last expedition. Tide is a little bit later in the day now. We're at slack tide. The boat in front of me is just starting to look as though it wants to turn, but we should, fingers crossed, touch wood, have enough tide to get us down the river into the beach that I want to go to. If we don't get to that beach, not a biggie. There are plenty of other beaches, and I'm sure we'll be able to catch one. Right, I shall bring you back presently. Well, this is it, home for tonight. Nice little spot. I was going to camp just the other side of that point over there, but I looked over here this way and the weather is looking a slightly little bit dodgy. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's coming out on the camera. I'm in the sun at the moment, but the clouds are definitely inland. Now I don't know if it's going to rain. I don't know what the forecast is for this evening. I have bought a tarp though, so I should be alright. I can get right in underneath these trees if needs be. Although I'm thinking of camping just up there a little way. So there's plenty of resources just here. So this will be my campsite for tonight, just around here. These rocks that are beside me here will protect me from the worst of the tide. The high tide line is just here, so that area there is dry. So that'll be camp for tonight. Like I said, there's plenty of resources, plenty of wood, which is one of the reasons why I've come here. I've recently, well in the last 6-7 months, invested in a wood stove. With prices the way they are at the moment for fuel, gas, electric and petrol obviously, I decided that it was time to change it around a bit. So rather than give my money to a CEO of some electric and gas company, because I did have, or do have, electric and gas, all of my heating, all of my cooking now is done with wood. And there is no better free resource, or place for a free resource, than here. These branches got washed up ages ago, and they've been sitting here in the sun, bleaching and drying, and they're absolutely perfect. So I'm going to take as many as I can in the canoe, and while this resource is free and lasts, I'm having it. No better place than a riverbank to get your free wood. Seriously. till the Caribbean rice and peas. Great stuff. I think we'll add the bacon to it. 10-second rule. Yeah, that's fine. Some of the bacon went a bit crispy, but I like it crispy. As far as I'm concerned, the secret ingredient, horseradish sauce. The world cannot get enough horseradish sauce. I may need to stoke this fire up a bit. Yeah, I think I will. Probably won't keep the fire going late tonight. It is still balmy hot here. Right, let that cook down a bit. Have another brew as well. Cup of peppermint tea, I think. Oh, my scran's ready. A little bit burnt at the bottom of this one, but not too bad. Sort of, I got caught by the sunset, which is now behind you, which is absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. But anyway, there's my scran. That'll see me through the morning. And I've got my, what I used to call my girls horrible tea. Dad joke, herbal tea. I'm going to sit here and just watch that sunset. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll go one better. There you go. What a beautiful sunset. Beautiful colours. In many ways, that's much better than just that big red sun going down. That is beautiful. Well, the sun is certainly giving me a hell of a show tonight. This is beautiful. I wasn't expecting this at all. Bit blown away by tonight's sunset. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Start again, shall I? I think we'll. Okay. Bit blown away by tonight's sunset. Absolutely. Beyond stunning, really. Anyway, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that commented on my last video, one where I went out on the moors with Ant, with regards to the history that I put out when I do my videos. I love history, I really do, and I've got a very big, or sorry, I should say a very eclectic sort of view on it. So I love the Bronze Age, the mining period on the moor, the Bronze Age, I'm really into the mountain men of America at the moment. I've always been into the Native American things. The mountain men at the moment, they're fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. The bushcraft knife, not so much mine's a special edition, one-off, but the sort of classic, it's pretty much based on the mountain man knife of that era. It wasn't a very, it wasn't a very, very long period of time, but it certainly brought out some characters. Jedediah Smith, Liver Eating Johnson, I think that's a brilliant name. If you've ever seen the film Jeremiah Johnson, I think it's called actually, Jeremiah Johnson, it's loosely based on his story, Liver Eating Johnson's story. He basically did go out and try to kill every Native American that he could find. Waged a one-man war, I believe it was on the Crow actually, but he waged a one-man war. So there's some fascinating stories, fascinating. Yeah, I thank you very much for that. Half the time it's just things that just pop into my head. I was sitting here just now and I was thinking about how I could say thank you to you, and I was looking at the river and something that I read probably 2 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago, just popped into my head about Hippotheius of Massala, possibly the first man of letters ever to arrive in on these islands. And we know that he came to Cornwall and he went to Kent, sailed right around the island to Great Britain, possibly went to Iceland, although we're not too sure of that. It may have just been the Shetlands, but possibly went to Iceland. And you think this was 350 BC? BCE, as you have to say now. Something that came from that is when he came to Cornwall, I wonder if he came up this river. I doubt it. He probably went up the Fal or the Foy, one of those other larger rivers further south. But those gulls have caught on to a shoal of something like that, having a proper frenzy. Anyway, when he asked the people what they were called, they called themselves the Britanni. Over in Kent, they called themselves the Cant. Both names survive now. Just think about that. Kent, or Cant, obviously has become Kent, and Britanni, when the because when it was, his work was rewritten by the Romans, they changed the P to a B, so it became the Britanny. And they asked them what the name of the island was. They said it was Albion. So there's 3 names that survived from 350 BC. That's just mind-boggling, isn't it, really? The Britanny, or Britanny, obviously became the name of the island. Great Britain, Britain. Albion, the Scots Gaelic still, or the Scots still call Scotland Alba. The Plymouth rugby team is called Plymouth Albion. Boggles the mind, doesn't it? That's why I like history. Things like that. Things that boggle the mind. Right. I'm going to set up my bed. All I've got tonight is a sleeping mat and a sleeping bag. I do have a bivvy bag, but I'm not going to use it. I don't think I'm going to need it. Set up my bed. Just watch the sunset for a bit longer.
West or northwest 2 to 4, occasionally 5 at first. Fair, good. Isle of Man, west or northwest, backing southwest for a time, then veering north later. 3 or 4. Mainly fair, mainly good. Loch Ford, Cardiff.
Dowr believes the Sunak camp want a candidate they can definitely beat. Those claims, according to The Guardian, have been denied by allies of both Mr Sunak and Mr Hunt. The Eye says cabinet favourites to be the next PM are being shunned by Conservative Party members who prefer relative outsiders, Penny Mordaunt or Kenny Badenoch. They both polled very well in a survey for the Conservative Home website, but the Eye concedes both may struggle to get the backing of enough MPs. In a focus on Miss Badenoch, the paper enhance nature, but really, truthfully, what percentage of farmers do you think are really thinking like that? I mean, it's not the majority by any means, is it?
Currently, I'd say there's probably 25-30% who are doing some really amazing stuff, really putting nature at the heart of the business. There's probably 50% more that have done some in the past, but we're trying to wait to see what the new policies are. It's very unstable.
Well, I think I'll leave the video here. I'm going to check the beaches. They're on my route back for more wood, but there's only so much sawing up wood that you people would probably like to see, so I'll leave it here. It's been a nice evening. I've been down on the river. It's beautiful, glassy today. I think the next trip we do on the river we'll go upstream. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me this long, if you have. And I'll catch you on the next one.